Hi, everyone. I know that Melanie Taylor is here because she already put a thing in the chat. So, hi, Melanie. Can you confirm you can see and hear me okay? Just let a few people get in here. I'm going to just move this a little bit here. My camera's in a weird spot. There, that's better. You guys can see the fabrics behind me, sort of. The color's not, the light's not great in here. I'm going to put the blinds up more. It's very gray and gloomy, and I don't think it's got to rain now. It was kind of half snowing a bit because it's like 0.8 degrees or something out. So, yeah, it's sort of iffy, kind of half and half. But there's not much. It's going to just turn to rain and be dribbly all day. Hey, Kim. Kim Burris has joined us. Thank you, Kim. You're here all the time, and I think that's wonderful. I so appreciate it. You're awesome. Okay, so I started another grad quilt. This pattern. Freebie several years ago from Jordan Fabrics. I just saved it and printed it. I offered my great niece a few options for patterns, and she picked this one, which is fine, but it's really hard to find the gradient fabric, like the correct ombre fabric. And she wanted certain colors. So here, I'll take one down from, hang on one sec. She wanted like blues and purples and black and stuff, so that's what I went with. But you have to have fabric, I don't know if I can show you this, that is ombre from dark on one selvage to light on the other one. So I did a lot of online hunting, and I found 4. I did not find the 5th one, because that's what Donna Jordan says you have to make with the border with, is the 5th one. I'll just make some other border, I don't know yet. So let me pin that back up. So all these blues, it's the Stonehenge line from Northcott. So the blue one is called Twilight, I think, if anyone cares. Oh, yeah. Kim says, thanks, I tried. You're awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I have the purples pinned together, but I'll try to show you because I got to make half square triangles. So there's purples. This one's called Mystic, I think. And then there's a blacker one, sort of black to gray. That's graphite. Yes, graphite. And then there's kind of a brownish gray one that is slate. The name of the colors. And that's what I'm going with. I'm going to make the quilt top, and I'll figure out a border eventually. So I did start a video on this because I'm going to have an actual video. So I've done a few clips, but I'll just do half square triangles with you all for right now, for the moment. So let's scoot this down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And as I've told you guys before, I like to have a sew line when I make half square triangles. I don't do a line and then sew on either side. I sew on the line. But this is a really big length because I cut 10-inch squares. That's what the pattern says. So I just use my long ruler, and I put my 1/4-inch mark on the corner and 1/4-inch mark on the corner, and then just drew a line, and then flipped it around, did the same thing, and drew another line. So I have a line that's a 1/2 inch apart, but not on the corner. So that's what I'm going to do, is just sew along the line. And the pattern says, because you have to cut your first strip across the width of the fabric, and then you cut 4 squares out of that. And the pattern says to do, I have a little clip about this in my video too, but the pattern says to do, like, the darkest is number 1, and lay them out like this. And then you put 1 with 3 and 2 with 4. and then you make your half square triangles. So that's what I have, is a pile of 1 and 3 together and a pile of 2 and 4 together. And I will do the exact same thing with all those strips hanging up on the wall. And you do not have to do the barn raising if you don't want to. Like, you could make chevrons or whatever. But I think my niece actually wants this, so I'm going to make it like that in some fashion. So let's crack on a bit here. Wake up the iron so I can press shortly. And off we go. I think Joe is just finishing up her live, so there's probably a few people there. Did any of you see Lynn Lockhart Quilting's video yesterday? She was quilting Vintage Style by Joe, that snowman quilt she did. Lynn was quilting it. It looked awesome. The pattern instructions say to make the half square triangles and then just cut off the dog ears. Yeah. As I flip my clips around. I know myself as I sew, and my half square triangles may or may not be 10 inches. So I'm going to square mine to perhaps 9 3/4. We'll see. I'm going to make them all and have a look. Usually I am pretty accurate, but sometimes I have to fudge it a little bit. So I'm not too worried about making my square slightly smaller. I can always make the border a little wider, right? And this is for my great niece, who's not, I mean, she's like 5'2". She's not a big tall person. So even if I make the border the way it's supposed to be, it's like, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm not overly worried about it. As long as the half square triangles are all the same size and square and straight, that is all I care about. Kim says, yes, that quilt is gorgeous. Yeah, Lynn does great work. Yeah, I thought that was awesome what she was doing. Looks so good. And Joe did a great job with the quilt too. Duh. She's very talented. Okay, back around the other way we go. I'm just going to do chain piece in a little bit, but I wanted to get one out of the way first. And I have a pale, pearly kind of gray thread in my machine, because whatever. Okay, let's feed another one in here. I got one blue one cut up, so I'm going to do blue as well. But I don't know how I want to lay them out yet, either color-wise. So I'm going to have to make the half square triangles and then play with the layout a bit for what color goes where. I think as long as you go light, dark, all the way out to make that barn raising kind of style, it probably doesn't really matter, but we'll see. Okay. Let's take out the pins. And of course, my pin cushion's over there. I almost always pin with half square triangles, especially on big ones like this, so they don't move around on me. I just do a pin, like my sewing lines are here, so my pins was here and here. 2's good enough. I don't pin like mad, but I don't want it to go. Generally, I do tend to pin or use clips most of the time. After I get this reasonably underway, I got to go back and finish up more for the Quilters Challenge. I have the next video for April done. I just have to upload it and put my collaborator people on it and stuff. And then mine comes up in May, and I'm 2/3 of the way through the video. Ish. So if anyone is joining me from the Quilters Challenge, that's what's coming up. And I also need the wall space for the June project, so I might have to stop this for a while and then go back to it. We shall see how things go. I think next week, no, pardon me, 2 weeks, 27th, yes, 27th, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing, so I might do an experiment and do cross stitch while I film it, if I can figure it out. I think I've got an idea, so if you guys are willing to join me on an experiment, I would appreciate it, but if you're not interested, that's okay too. I just want to try it out and see how it works. Okay, let's clip these out of the way here. So those have 1 seam each. Hold on. Oh, I've got a. Oh, I have the one of the like brownish ones cut. I think it's called slate, but it's sort of a grayishy type brown. So I think it'll work. And brown and purple and blue go together just fine. I'm not that worried about it. I think it'll be fine. Just where's this one? Hold on. Oh, I didn't draw the line on that one yet. Okay, 1 sec. We'll do that one first then. Okay. Let me get down the end of this one seam here. So what's everybody got going on the weekend? Yeah, it's kind of quiet. Just Kim and Melanie. Oh, Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Sorry I didn't see you come in. Kathy, my neighbor in Washington. Thank you for joining. Always good to see your name pop up. We have a reasonably quiet weekend, except the kids. Well, the kids are joining us for dinner on Sunday, but that's kind of a usual thing. And we're getting, I don't know if you guys, you probably have seen or heard of those permanent lights on your house. We're getting those installed on Sunday morning. My husband's always been putting lights up on the front of the house, but he has to climb around on the roof and he's not getting any younger. So, safety first. Let somebody else put them up there and then they're up there. That was kind of the plan. And we got a relatively good deal on them too. So, we got to pay off as much as we can by like August or so, and then the rest just gets financed to like every other week or something. It's not that bad. But so my husband in his late 50s doesn't have to climb around on the roof anymore. Kim says this weekend, hopefully finish 1 quilt and start cutting pieces for my Hunter Star. Ooh, Hunter Star looks so cool, but they look so fiddly to me. I like the look of it. I don't know. I've been challenged with fiddly before and prevailed. Brenda. My dear friend Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore. Okay, I'm just going to whip behind the camera here and cut this one. Hold on. I don't want to keep moving it around all the time. If I have to do a series of drawing lines, then I'll just turn it around so you can see what I'm doing. But give me 1 second here just so I can press this. Okay. Now let me aim the camera over toward the iron for a moment here. 1 second. Let's go here. Try not to move it too quickly on you. There. So that's kind of what it turns out like. Just a sec if I can get it open. Haha. A light side and a dark side. Kim says I ordered half-yard cuts from a friend, cut them into fat quarters, and got half of them, and I'm thinking a double arrow. Oh, yeah, I saw Sandra K's. Oh, got it. Okay, yeah. That'll be cool. I didn't comment on Sandra's, but I saw what she was doing, and I thought, oh yeah. I suck at comments, actually. I gotta try better. Okay, so press 2. Is that the dark way? Yes, that's the darker way. And because these are, like, I guess you could say striped fabrics, I lined up my squares when I was choosing square 1, 2, 3, 4, I lined them up on my table with the stripes going the same way. So I don't want to smush this too much because it's bias. Put that in down there and put that down there. Okay. All right. So when I cut more of those big strips up, I will film it and explain about laying them out the same way. I just thought to keep myself organized, that's what I would do. So they don't, I mean, they're going to look kind of odd anyway, because some of them are more stripy looking than the other ones, right? But hello, Gladys. The Confident Quilters joined us. Thank you very much for coming along. Let's sew another one here. I'm just letting that one cool down from being pressed before I do the next one. I know, sorry. You'll have to listen to the machine instead of see me. Might as well do something while it's hot. And I'll press the next one momentarily. Okay. That one needs another line as well. Okay. Come down close to the end here. So from the fabric, you have to cut 3 strips, and then you cut your squares out, so you wind up with 12 altogether. So let's do this one. I'm just going to make a stack of these once I get them trimmed how I want. Oh, that one looks cool. Okay, just a second. Okay, press it down. This purpley one I'm pretty sure it's called Mystic. It has blues in it as well. It's not just purple. So I think everything will match up pretty well. Cool. cool off, you. I'll show you closer up in a sec. I will put all of these under my ruler and check them. Maybe I did an awesome sewing job and all I really do have to do is cut the dog ears off, but I'm not holding my breath on that because I know myself. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of whatnot in here for now. So that one's ready to be cut in half. And that one's ready to be cut in half. So let's divest of pins. And I'll show you guys that other one. Come back over here. So there's one. There. That's what one looks like. Kim says, I have 6 rows of ties to get done on the polyester double knit quilt. Then I can trim and bind it. Cool. Yeah, I remember you saying that. You're given the fabric. I think last time on the live you were talking about that. So there's one of the purple ones. Let me just grab the first one I pressed because it's up here. This one doesn't show like the stripe that good, but you can definitely, there's light and there's dark. Like it's pretty obvious. There's light and there's dark here. Right? Makes sense? Okay. I'm going to scoot the camera around this way. Sorry, everybody. So you can see behind me briefly. And cut a little bit. Put my triangles over there. And that one needs a line. And that one needs one more seam. Okay, one sec. Let's do stuff over here for right now. Okay, let me just double check my angle if you can see what I'm doing or not. There, that should do something. Okay. All right, these two just need cutting. Oops, I forgot to take the pins out of that one. 1 second, put that over here. Okay, need my long ruler. Corner to corner. Cut it in half. There's one. Come on. And corner to corner. There's another one. Okay, those two get pressed. Now this one needs a line. And then I'll pin it back together. So, pencil. I've got one of these Fons and Porter rulers that I normally use. You line the point up on the corner and then you draw your 2 lines, but that's not long enough. It works fine for smaller squares, obviously. But this one, I'm back to the big ruler. So just a sec, we've got to line up. So line up the 1/4 inch line on the ruler goes on the corners. I will make this clear in my video too. I haven't done that part yet. Okay, 1/4 inch on the corner there, 1/4 inch on the corner there. Perfect. Draw the line. I'm not making it super dark. Just want to be able to see it, and it'll wash out eventually. And I'm also sewing on it, so it's not a big deal. Okay, and then this one goes there, 1/4 inch there, 1/4 inch there. Perfect. Line. Put the pins back in. Boop. Okay. Let's switch around to the iron. So when I have to do a whole bunch of half square triangles, this is kind of what I do. I get a bunch ready, drawn out, and then I do some sewing, and then I do some pressing, and then I do a bunch more, and then you know what I mean? I don't chain piece all of them all at once. I do them in like, 3 or 4 at a time kind of thing. Okay, so this one is a blue one. Okay, let's put that over there like so. Ooh, that one looks cool. And these blues are a little bit on the purpley side too, so there's splashes of purple in them. So I think it'll look pretty effective when the. And for the border, I might just get like a different Stonehenge, because they have like Stonehenge comes like, I forget what the line is called, but it's sort of like a marbled kind of. You know what I mean? I just can't think of the name of the line right now. Shoot. Brain is gone. But you know what I mean. I think one of those would be a good border. And possibly the binding too. And I don't know what about the backing yet. That's to be figured out. Okay, so there's another one. There's a blue one. Can you guys see that? Looks cool. Okay, put it over here in the pile. Back to purple. I did find some ombre style fabrics, but they went dark at the selvage, then light in the middle, and then dark back at the selvage again, and that doesn't work. It has to be all the way across if you're going to do this. Okay, that one looks cool too. Okay, go down a bit. Okay. There's that one. Another blue one. You just push that down a bit there. Push that down a bit there. I think some of the blues look a little bit like water, actually. All right, that one needs sewing. Oof, come here, you. Still hot. Okay, that one's okay. Not so hot. And one more purple one, and then we're good for pressing for the moment. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, happy with that. What am I missing in chat? Sorry, I've been up and down a bit. Kim says they're cool looking blocks. Yeah, Kim says the blues remind me of ripples in the sea. Exactly. It is called Twilight, though, so maybe if they were thinking of sky, possibly. But yeah, it looks like waves, sort of. It's cool. And the browns to me look a little bit like a stony beach, kind of. Okay, there's that one. And then there's this one. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't move the camera. Duh. Yeah, that's my bad. Yeah, I'm sewing away. There we go. This one's good, except for the pins. Over there. That one just needs cutting. Okay, I'm gonna move that one I pressed because it's cooled off now. Okay. And the other side. The next thing I have to do is a lot of cutting of squares from those big strips up on the wall. So I probably won't do that today. Hi, Joe. How you doing? Vintage Style by Joe? I know your ears must have been burning, but you're finished up your live, so we weren't talking about you bad, honest. There we go. Leave that for another one. Okay. Yeah. So those do need to be cutted. Okay. I'm going to take, here, I'm going to scoot you up to the wall for a second here. Because I want to experiment. Let me take this down out of the way because I might as well cut that one next. Although we'll see about today or not, but we will leave it over here so it lays flat and tidy. Anywho's. Now, we kind of see that. It's, here, let me get it up just a touch. So, let's have a gander at the pattern. So it looks like dark middle might be the best way to go. Yes, Joe. Kim says your snowman quilt's gorgeous. We were talking about Lynn doing an amazing quilting job on it because I saw her video. Okay, so let me grab a couple of these and we'll just experiment here. Okay, maybe the purple ones. What do we got here? Just one there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, so the thinking goes. I'll get out of the way in a sec. Dark. And this one goes like that. And this one goes like that. Make sense? And then the next one that you go around, you put the lights here. Right? I've never done a barn raising layout before, so I'm just going by what the picture looks like. I mean, not that I'm going to put purple in the middle. I mean, I might, but that's what I had done. So what do you guys think? Looks good. Joe says that quilt was enough applique for a bit. Yeah, I bet. It looks great, though. Kathy says it's pretty. Yeah, see, you know what I mean? I think it's cool. I think, okay, I don't know if it's maybe hard to tell on the camera, but these two dark purples are a little bit close for me. So I think whatever I decide to do, maybe I'll put the gray ones in the middle, but I might do something more like this. To have the darkest two opposite. Right? I don't think it matters particularly, but I think when the whole thing's laid out, there's going to be 12 purples, 12 blues, 12 grayish blacks, and 12 brownish grays. So the outer rows are going to wind up being mishmash anyway, because I don't have enough colors, right? So If I do purple like that in the middle, I might do like the grays around it or something. Or maybe some browns and some grays, and then the next row can be blues and the rest of the purples, or like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to mess around with what it looks like before I decide how to sew it together. But that's kind of the idea. So, actually, I should just put those away for right now. I mean, it's not going to be as obvious a barn raising as if I was using like white or something, but the idea is the same. Okay. Got those blues. Those ones need cutting. Okay, just one sec. I'm actually going to press this. I'm going to turn you around in a second. Hold on. There, flatten that down. Okay, let's go back here. Whoa, as I drop the camera. There. So let's cut these two in half. Oop, this way. Excuse me. Okay. If I put this up here and cut it, can you see what I'm doing? Okay. Now this length only just gets me 4 squares. So I've been extremely careful in my cutting. Line it up there. Let me just check my angles if you guys can actually see that or not. Okay, that's not terrible. Okay, hold on. Now, I take my big 12.5-inch square. I'm just barely cutting off the selvage. In a couple of them, I actually got a tiny bit of selvage on it, but it's going to disappear when it gets sewed together, so I'm not worried about it. But I'm just getting it. Just. Now. Oh, and sorry, Joe, you probably missed the pattern. I'll show you in a second. Hold on. But that one's got a tiny bit. Yeah, oh, whatever. That's fine. Okay, now. I lined this up on a line on the board just to be kind of semi-straight off the bat. Now, over here to 10. Line up on the top. Along on 10. Yeah, there's a teeny bit of selvage on one of these, but it's going to be minor and gone when it's sewn together. Put my weight on it so it don't move around. 10. Okay, so I'm cutting 2 squares right now. There, 10. There. Now, don't move it. Leave your fabric where it is. You guys might not be able to see this as well because I've moved over, but I'm cutting 10 exactly the same, and I'll show you the bit that's left. 10. Double checking. Straight, straight. 10. That's it. I do have a little bit left of each fabric after I cut the yardage, after I cut the 4 strips off the yardage, but this is it from cutting off the 10-inch squares. So I've got limited room right here, but I'll try and show you the light to dark thing if I can. Okay, so there's a dark one. What do we got? This one should be the lightest one. Yes, the first edge is always the lightest and the darkest. So there's the light one. So it goes over here. That's number 4. And then this one's next. But see what I mean? I'm lining up like the stripies go this way. I'm lining them all up like that. So stripe, not this way, all the same. Okay. And then these ones are close together. But that one is on the selvage. So that's the first one. So let me scoot this down a bit. So that is the sort of next to darkest, and this one is the darkest. So let me just kind of sort of pan the camera across. I don't even know what I'm seeing, so I'm hoping you guys can see this. Darkest, next. This has almost no purple in it, but a little bit of lighter blue. And then purples come in here. And I know that this one is the first one because there's a weeny bit of selvage on it. So the selvage is cut is square 1 and square 4. And then the middle 2 come out of the middle. So stripes going this way, stripes going this way. Right? So pattern makes you take 1 and pair it with 3. Like so. I'm just going to stick a pin in for now so there know those 2 go together. And square 2. I'll scoot 4 over here a little bit. You can see it better. 2 and 4. Same thing. Put them together. When I cut the rest of them, I will explain this better in my actual video, but you guys are seeing it now because you're here. And whoever watches the replay. There. Okay. So those are only pinned in pairs now. I'm going to turn you back around. And I'll put them aside because they don't even have lines drawn. Those ones all need pressing. Boop. And I'm keeping them in stacks. Not that it matters particularly, but I want to be organized. Over here, I have a stack of the 1 and 3 pairs. And here's a stack of the 2 and 4 pairs. So it doesn't matter really, though. This one's this. Hang on, this is this one. Yeah, that's this one. Okay. There. It matters not really, but whatever. Okay, so that's what I'm up to. Hi, Allison. Okay, Allison and Joe and maybe Gladys didn't see the pattern. That's it. It is free. Many years ago, though, because Donna Jordan, the late wonderful Donna Jordan, showed the video how to do this. And at the time, Jordan Fabrics was selling 5-yard bundles. So the theory is you have 4 yards for the top and the 5th yard is for the border. And they had all of the gradients fabrics, like they had a ton of them. So I had to go around various places and order like, oh, this color's from this particular color's from here and this particular color's from there. And I got it in the end, but I still don't have a border. I was kind of worrying about that when I got to it. But I think if I find a Northcott Stonehenge something else, not gradients, but there's a bunch of Stonehenge lines that are called different things. That's kind of what I was thinking of, is get one of those and then and I don't know what to put on the back. I think those ombres actually come in wide backs. Whether I can find the color or not, though, is another story. Well, we shall see. Maybe I'll use grunge. I don't know. I'll think of something. There's a couple of good quilting stores in town. I can take the quilt up and go, "Hey, I need a backing. What do you think?" And I'll get something. They're very helpful. So since it's 20 after 9, I probably should call it. We've been on for 50 minutes now. Because pretty much everything else I have to do is just I got to do it off camera, but and like film it for my actual video. Allison says got a wide ombre through Soya. Okay. Yeah, they've got a lot of good stuff. I've ordered from them before. Just the exchange is so bleh. And shipping. I'll see. That one's calling to flannel. Yeah, you think? I loathe flannel though. I hate it. I hate using it. That's just me though. Oh, gone. Well, it was the second one of the day anyway. Oh, so now it's not doing anything out there. Oh, it's faintly raining. Yeah, okay. We almost had snow. There was a little bit. There was a mountain. I can't take the camera because it's USB'd into the laptop. I cannot take the camera out to show you, but out the living room window, there's a I guess you could say it's a large hill, and it has snow on the top of it. And when it has snow on the top of it, then yes, it's right here because we're like barely above sea level. So it takes a lot for it to actually snow. But around the city, there's hills and mountains. So other places get snow, just not right here. Oh yes, Allison says Laura Lynn said they're in a blizzard currently. Yeah, the east coast of Canada. I think it goes down part way down in the east coast of the US too, doesn't it? I saw there was a big whoosh on the east part of the continent. Yeah, well, it is still only March. You know how your Facebook memories pop up? So this morning, excuse me, 2019, no, yesterday, pardon me, the 12th, 2019, March 12th. We had a little bit of snow because I took a picture of my living room window and put it on Facebook, and it's just you can still see grass sticking up a little bit, but we got a sprinkle. But it doesn't happen very often. I mean, we've had to have allergy pills lately because there's stuff's blooming and the hedges are getting buds on them, and yeah, Allison in California is having a heat wave. Today is the last day of school before spring break. My kids are in their 20s, so we don't do that anymore. But we've got relatives in the family that are teens and neighborhood kids and whatnot. So today's the last day, and then the local school district has 2 weeks off. Not every school district does 2 weeks. Some only do one. Some, yeah, it depends. But school district 33 has 2 weeks, so they go back on the 31st, the 30th. I forget what the date of the Monday is. And then Easter weekend is the following weekend because Good Friday is the second. I can't remember. Something like that. See you, Joe. Thanks for popping in. I know you're busy. Appreciate it. So yeah, I'm going to call it. So yeah, we're nearly at an hour. So thank you everybody for joining me for this, whatever I was doing. You will see more of this video. I'm just thought I would sew with you for a little bit, but I'll try to be concise in the actual video of how I'm doing it. Best I can. And more of how the heck I'm going to put it together. And Allison says they go back on a Tuesday because it's so hard to come right back after Easter. Right. Yeah, in previous years when Easter's been slightly earlier, then they just run it all together. But whatever. Bye. Thanks, everybody. Mwah. See y'all around.